Oh my god, this is so bad. I'm not even drinking proper coffee. All I did was take a cup of water and put a Nescafe packet in it. And then I poured a few drops of milk to be precise. And I put in ice cubes because the aesthetic. And then I just started drinking it. And I sip and I regret and I sip and I regret. But guess what? That's life. Yeah, anyway, here's the intro. My name is Sarthak Patil and this is the Petty Waffle podcast. Oh, that sounds better than welcome to Petty Waffle podcast. My name is Sarthak Patil. I am a stand-up comedian from Nagpur who's trying comedy like every other comedian in the country is. And I'm finally starting my own podcast because this is what I wanted to do since the past 3 years. Some of you might know me from PCM podcast, and that was a podcast where 4 guys sat down and talked about their experience in their coaching classes. And I'm one of them. And I had the idea of recording my own podcast the very next day. Like, we recorded PCM podcast one day, and the next morning I had the idea of starting out my own podcast. And I don't know, naming it some random stuff like, what would it be if I started my own podcast and called it Patil Podcast? Whatever. So I'm finally here. I'm 3 years late, I know, but it took me 3 years to develop the knowledge, the vocabulary, and the confidence to start something of my own and put it out in front of an audience. Also, in the last 3 years, I've gotten to know a lot of people in Nagpur, a lot of fun people actually, and I'll be calling them over as guests on this podcast. And given that this podcast won't be a topic-centric podcast, we'll be talking about everything and anything. So we could talk about life and love and friendship. And sometimes we could talk about, cartoons and movies and why parents don't hate their kids these days. Something like that. So this podcast is called Petty Waffle Podcast because petty means petty and waffle is a slang that means to talk in a trivial manner. Yes, it's a British slang and I googled it. And it's not going to be about food. I won't be talking about food most of the times. But someday, somewhere, somehow, kabhi tobi, I might talk about food. But most of the times, no. But I can guarantee you that this podcast will add more value to your life and social media than any food blogger can. I don't get food blogging, dude. And I feel like food bloggers in Nagpur don't get food blogging either. They've got their feeds filled with food. And I just don't get it. It's just pictures of normal food. It's nothing special. If I'm following you, at least show me something in my Instagram feed that is something special and something unique. What most food bloggers do is they just put in pictures of normal stuff. It's normal food like pizza. Veg pizza, that's worse. And in the caption, they don't even put in something to add value or to, describe it. They just describe it in a simple sense veg pizza from Haldiram's, cost 150, very tasty. That's it. How is this still going, dude? How? All they do is they describe the picture that they are posting. And not even properly. In 3 sentences at max. This is like a Sanskrit paper. If you've done CBSE Sanskrit in 10th, there's this part in your question paper where there's a picture and you have to write 5 sentences about that picture in Sanskrit. And this is the same thing food bloggers are doing, because let's be honest, most food bloggers don't know English, so that is comparatively new for them. I don't even feel bad for saying all this. क्या कर लेंगे food bloggers? वड़ा पाव फेंक के मारेंगे. And I know a couple of them, they're pretty nice people, so. But yeah, this is what the podcast is going to be about. It's just going to be about things. The things. That's it. And Sometimes I'll have guests, obviously, like I told you before. But sometimes it's just gonna be me talking. And all in all, I hope this is a fun thing to do because I'm enjoying it. Watching sound waves on my laptop, and I hope you like it too. So the first episode releases real soon. I'll keep you guys updated on my Instagram. It's at the rate not Sarthak Patil, Sarthakpatil, and I'll see you guys soon. And if you guys even cringed even once at this recording, at this whole podcast episode, um, I'll have to fucking edit this by listening to this like a million times. Think about me. I'm gonna make my ears bleed. But till then, I hope you guys like it. I just hope too much, you know what? Bye.